Alrighty, here we go. Okay. Alright, hello, hello, hello. Hey, Rivercat, man, what's going on, bro? How you been? Happy Monday, Ivan. Happy Monday. I hope you're doing well. Man, I see a lot. Man, that's good. Kind of bum you had to drop a class? Oh no. What class you dropped there, buddy? Hey, Diego. Me, I'm just sitting and chilling and having a great time. I hope you have a good time too. Engineering, oh yeah. Engineering AutoCAD is pretty, man, that sucks. You gonna try again in the spring there? Try to take another engineering AutoCAD class? Look at all these people. Ba-bam. Let's hope for good stuff here today. Yeah, okay. That's fair. Yeah, it doesn't really have a bunch to do with CS. Hello, Gustavo. How are you, my friend? We have class today. Well, if you're in the 8-week class, no. But if you're in the 16-week class, yes. If you're in the second 8-week class, then yes, but that was this morning. But if you're in the 16-week class, then yes, that's right now. If you're in the first 8-week class, then no. Today would be like the day to get your stuff done there. Ah, man, I'm so sorry, bro. Yeah, it's hard for me to get calculus, to be perfectly honest. I don't really get choices. They just say, hey, we want you to take these classes. And I'm like, I'm pretty low on the totem pole, to be perfectly honest. I have taught Calc 1 before, though. Um, yeah, I have taught Calc 1. It's not so bad. Nah, that's all good. I appreciate the fact that at least you like the college algebra with me. If you're in the 16-week class, you're in the right place, my dude. I'm doing very good, very, very good. Can you believe it? It's already halfway through the semester. I mean, it's like bam. That was already done. 8 weeks. Bam. Easy time, easy life. How was your weekend, guys? Hey, Towel, how are you, my friend? Good to see you. I hope you are doing very well. Fair question. So, the 8-week class is effectively finished, okay? So, the 8-week class is pretty much done, all right? The first 8-week class. Now, I have a second 8-week class that I teach at 10 o'clock in the morning today. So, that was already done and taken care of. However, what we are going to start off with is we're going to start off with chapter 6. Okay, so it's like saying, okay, the first 8 weeks was chapters 1 to 5, and then we restart with chapter 6 to 10, going all the way up to the end of the semester. So basically, it's a rehash of the second half of the course. So we are going to be doing a a um, a full go. It's just again, we did kind of like the first half, which was chapters 1 to 5, and then the second half, which was chapters uh, 6 to 10 there. So that was the plan from the start. Was to have that happen. Anybody have any questions, by the way? Remember, you have to finish that. Want to know what was totally? Yeah, I do want to know actually. What was brutal about the AutoCAD class? I gotta know. Mm-hmm. We have the whole crew here right now? I hope so. Hopefully we got the whole crew. That ain't so bad. Oh yeah, well, he would pull you aside for feedback. Yeah, that wasn't too smart. AutoCAD takes a lot of effort. Yeah, that's true. He was doing civil. He was doing engineering AutoCAD. The unfortunate part is they were doing it on Zoom once a week. When AutoCAD's pretty complex, he says. Nah, I know. A lot of things that, I've said the same thing in my classes. It's just, I wish I could do face to face. It's nice, again, maybe. I don't know. Some people were a little frustrated because we get, sometimes we have sometimes some people get frustrated because I use this platform as opposed to Zoom. This says Zoom is a little bit better, I guess, if for some people. So, but I don't know if you guys like Twitch a little bit better. I don't know what your take on that is, to be perfectly honest. So I gotta ask because you know, I guess the question is this really working? I think it does, um, but again, my opinion maybe is very different than that of others. So hence why I asked. The Twitch works better for you, okay? Same. All right. I mean, that's fair. All right. I mean, if it works out, then that's good. That's all. That's all. You know, I that's all that I want to hear is just your honest feedback. You know, you low key haven't used Zoom. Okay. We had a Calc 1 teacher that was almost 70. Well, can I be a Calc teacher that's just a touch above 40? uh, okay. I really haven't used Zoom too much. I was like, it's like a thing. I mean, it's okay. It's just, I don't know, meh. Hang on, I'm going to type on my keyboard for you, Civil. So yeah, just going H E L L O. Hello. Look, I'm just using my nice little setup here. So let me grab my camera here for just a second. Okay, so I got the I know it's a little messy here, but well, it's a bachelor pad after all. So see, I got my shirt here. Yes, because that's all you wanted to see was my shirt. Mm. See, I got my little keyboard, and then let's zoom out for a little bit. So then I push a button, and be like, "Hey, hey." Use of keyboard correctly. Yes. Okay. You push a button, magic happens. And the computer goes in kind. I got the. I'm telling you. Yes. See? There we go. All the colors of the rainbow. I Skittles my computers. It's very fun. Oh, that's so ridiculous. All right. Let's hope that works. All right. That is my crappy background. I need to clean a lot. So, as you can clearly tell in the background, I got some plastic crap and whatever. All right. Oh mercy. I probably will never live it down anyway. Oh well. Okay. There we go. Yeah. Ha ha. Yeah. This is how we do it. All right. I love this keyboard. It's so good. Anyway. All right. Yeah, we got to do things. Right. Oh man, it's already 5:11. Holy crap. All right. Let's uh this is how I'm going to teach today. Okay, maybe not. Okay. Okay, let's get started today. Welcome back to Monday. Hope you had a nice weekend. All right, so today, um, we are going to be going into Chapter 6. Remember that the Chapter 1 to 5 test is due at midnight tonight. Okay, so please do not forget that is going to be a thing, and it will happen. All right, so again, that will happen that will end it tonight. So be sure to finish up your homework. Be sure to finish up your test. All right, and have that stuff done. That would be great. All right, so I would really appreciate that. All right. In any case, all right. By the way, before we get started here, are there any questions about anything over the first 8 weeks of the class that you guys have? Um, any questions at all from you guys? No? Okay. Alrighty. Okay. So, today, again, a lot of the things we'll talk about here are things that you guys have already heard about. So this isn't going to be anything brand new, but again, should provide a good backdrop for just refreshing some of the things we may have talked about a little while ago back in chapter 6. So that was in reference to what should we call it, to sine numbers. That's what chapter 6 was all about. Now, because of the fact that we're only doing 5 chapters here for the last 8 weeks of the class, okay, I do intend to go a bit slower than I normally did in my 8 week course because obviously there's a lot for me to do in just a single day considering everything's kind of compacted. But seeing as if you already kind of saw what the second half of the course is all about, I may end up just doing a couple of sections, then we move on to the next one, and then, then we move on, and really we could take up the last 8 weeks just kind of plodding along without too much trouble. Again, for chapter 7, I'll just kind of skip around a little bit because, again, um, some of the material is relevant and some of it's not. So we'll probably get through chapter 7 quicker, even though there's a lot of sections in chapter 7, but a lot of it is just like, meh, it's kind of there. So, in any case, let's talk about addition, subtraction of sine numbers, and some multiplication, division too, because plans and reasons. All right, got this here. Bring up the book here. Hopefully this book comes up. There we go, finally. All right. All righty. So, looking at this here, we have, again, talking about addition of sine numbers, okay, subtraction of sine numbers, things like that. Now, as you know here, sine numbers are things that we talk about, such as profit and loss. Okay, we do talk about that quite extensively. Um, if we talk about, like, say again, transactions, or again, cutting off a particular length on a piece of material. All right, we talk about, say, that you lose or you gain, say you weld two pieces together and you gain some material there. That can certainly happen as well. So, of course, sine numbers are very important just for that fact. Now, like we've mentioned here before, a lot of the times that we'll be doing this, again, we'll be using the calculator pretty heavily to get to a lot of the calculations that we'll need using sine numbers here. But let's go ahead and take a look at an example. Let's go ahead and put some sine numbers here together in some of these applications type problems, and we'll see what we're working with. Okay, so let's look at number 3 here. Okay, so let's look at number 3 here. I just don't want to do like the same stuff that we did when we first went over this, so trying to pick like different ones. So on a cold day in Fairbanks, the temperature stood at 12 degrees below zero at 2 p.m. Over the next 5 hours, the temperature rose 4 degrees, dropped 2 degrees, rose 5 degrees, dropped 1 degree, and finally dropped 3 degrees. What was the temperature at 7 p.m.? Okay, so how would we do this particular problem here? It was at 12 below 0, rose 4, drop 2, rose 5, drop 1, and then drop 3. Last chance for you. Last chance in regards to what, Unfathomable? Ah, yes, I did. Now I remember. You didn't say some very nice things in the chat last time. This is the last chance saloon for you. I mean, hey, all right. I'll just put it this way. Unfathomable. Look, if you want to be an edgelord and probably do what I think you'll probably do, then you go do it. But if you want to be a good guy today, then be a good guy today. That's it. It's as simple as that. Respect is given and respect is earned. That's how it works. It doesn't matter how old I think you are. All I see is what you act like. If I tell you were like, whatever age, it doesn't matter. Look, I've seen 40-year-olds act like edgelords, okay? So to me, it depends how you act about how old I think you really are. Age doesn't matter when it comes to actions. If you know you should have acted better, then you probably should have done it, but I'm not going to force you to do that. That's your choice at the end of the day. There's a little icon on the bottom with a little headphone there, Victor. So if you go to the little icon, it's next to the pause button there. Yeah, do you see that? You can drag the little circle there to the right, and you can increase your volume there. So if it's hard to hear you on the screen, then that's okay. Also, Victor, by the way, if you haven't checked out the YouTube channel yet, um, you can check out my YouTube channel. I have an archive of pretty much a majority of our previous lectures if you haven't seen those yet. So for the 16-week class. So if you haven't seen those yet, you can go ahead and go back and look. So there you go. All right, Unfathomable. Why did we say frick you? If you want people to know, then just tell people how old you are, and then we'll just go with that. Okay. You didn't like that. That's fine. Now, if you want to tell us how old you are, so that way we have proper context, be right. I understand. Back to the point though. How old are you? And then we'll take it into proper context, okay? All right, relax, Diego, relax. No need to egg it on. It's okay. Okay, you're 15. That's fine. then you're 15. I'll tell you one thing. It's good to be young and a teenager and stuff like that. You know, I understand that if you're 15, everybody's angsty and edgy. Trust me, I was too. All right, no question about it. You know, like you swear like a sailor about every 3 seconds. That's pretty normal. Um, that's not a problem. The thing is that you shouldn't direct your hate to everybody. If you're angry and upset, then don't take it out on everybody. Just be release it in a different way instead of just like being pissed all the time or just being angsty all the time. Okay. Remember, Unfathomable, I give you respect if you give me respect, and vice versa. Trust me, I can look past things. Okay, it's not really a big deal. Okay. I had it far worse at the age of 15, so I don't want you to be in that same situation. 15 years old for me was one of the worst years of my life, and I'm not about to have you go down that same road. All right. So, let's get back to it. Let's do number 3, guys. So, the temperature stood at 12 below zero. It rose, it fell. So, can anybody give me an answer for this here? We start at, so this is for number 3. All right, so let's check it out. We have minus 12. All right. And plus 4, minus 2, plus 5, minus 1, and then another minus 3. So just like so. Minus 8, minus 10, 5. Yep, that's correct. Minus 9 is the correct answer. Yep. All right, good stuff. Let's go ahead and try another one here. Okay, so I think I remember doing that one, so I'm gonna do another one here. Okay, this one each. So let's do number 6 as well. In determining the fitting allowance for a pipe configuration, a plumber has a negative allowances of minus 2.5 inches and minus 1 7/16 of an inch, and two positive allowances of half of an inch each. What is the net fitting allowance for the job? So this is number 6 here. So we have minus 2.5, minus 1 7/16, and two positive allowances of half of an inch each. Oops. I meant to push this. There we go. Got. Come on now. Why are you doing this? All right. Ah, that's why. Okay. Yes, you can convert to improper fractions here. So we have minus 2.5. Again, plus, again, a negative 1 7/16. Okay, so if we convert this, then we got minus 2.5 here to be minus 5/2. How about minus 1 7/16? What does that convert to as an improper fraction? Minus 23. Minus 23? Just minus 23, Diego? I think we're missing an over something. Okay, yeah, perfect. Okay, so if we add these two together here, again, just as a friendly reminder, nah, it's cool, bro. Just as a friendly reminder, remember that when we're adding two fractions together, we find the common denominator. The common denominator is, what's the common denominator here, guys? What's the common denominator here? Hopefully this will give you a good refresher. So, okay, good. That's right. Very nicely done, guys. 16 is correct, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to multiply by 8. Remember, balance. Everything is a balance. So 8 on the numerator denominator. So that's actually kind of good that we talked about chapter 7 beforehand, because now you understand what I mean by balance. So it's actually super handy. Minus 23 over 16. So here we get minus 63 over 16. Okay. All right, now what do we do with that? What do we do with minus 63 over 16? What should we do with that? We got one more calculation to go, guys. Don't forget the last part. Yeah. We could convert. Okay, what does that convert to? What does minus 63 over 16 convert to as a mixed number? That's fair. How many times does 16 go into 63? I bet. I already know. Yep, there we go. Got it. So it goes 3 times with 15 left over. So minus 3 and 15 sixteenths is correct. Now there is actually one more step here, and that is you have two positive allowances of half an inch each. So we're going to need to add 1 for the two positive allowances of half an inch each. So what we're going to get is we're going to get minus 2 and 15 sixteenths. Okay. And that's going to be our final answer for that. All right, any questions about that? Hopefully that wasn't too bad. Okay, let's go ahead and look at the next section here, which shouldn't be too bad, but there are some things that we can talk about here again that can certainly be very helpful. So let's take a look at that. Yeah, there we go. All right, let's see, which one did I want to do? I know we did that one, so I'm not doing that one. Yep. All right, let's do this one. Perfect. Okay. So let's take a good look here at number 11. All right, so number 11, electronics. So the peak-to-peak voltage of an AC circuit is found by subtracting the negative peak voltage from the positive peak voltage. Calculate the peak-to-peak voltage in the diagram shown. So notice the peak voltage and the positive voltage is 210 volts, and the negative peak voltage is minus 210 volts. Okay, so very important here just to kind of measure stuff out. So we want to figure out what the difference is between the very top and the very bottom of this range. Okay, so since we're subtracting two numbers together, okay, in this particular case, then what we're going to do here is we're going to subtract the positive result here, which is 210, and we'll subtract that from minus 210. All right, so if you take a look here, we have a negative of a negative. What's a negative of a negative? Positive, that's correct. So here, because a negative of a negative is a positive. So in reality, we have 210 plus 210, right? And so we're going to get 420. Okay, so 420 volts is the difference here that we get once we put that together. So that's although if you think about amplitude, amplitude's a little different, but amplitude is the halfway distance of the distance from the peak to peak. So if you think about peak voltage, if you think about amplitude of a particular like wave, then you look at the peak to peak difference and then you take half of that, and that's what amplitude basically is. So like for example, trigonometric waves are reflective of alternating current. So especially like sine waves. So it's how you're able to carry signals, I think, over long distances. I'm no electrician, but I believe that to be the case. So which is the difference between AC and DC current. So there you go. Although I'm sure engineers can correct me if I said something wrong. So I mean, there's definite uses of things like that for sure. Absolutely for sure. All right, let's see here. Okay, I have a plan. All right, plan time, everybody. Ha ha! I have an idea. All right, guys, you guys have been through the ringer many a times, especially these sections per se. Okay, so I have an idea for all of you guys here today. I think we should do something special with some of the math that we can actually use here, on a possible daily basis. So here's what I'm going to do first. You guys are in for a bit of a treat. So, boop. All right. You guys are like, Rutro, what are you doing? I'd be like, bruh, I'm doing something important. So that way you don't feel like super bad. Alrighty. Let's go and, where is that thing? There it is. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. Okay. There we are. Okay. So I'm going to bring up once again something that I showed you at the very leave the cool students in 16 leave. Well, when you have a lot more time, you can plan stuff ahead. Like seriously. You have like a ton of time. Like this class gives me a ton of time. So it's actually really good in that regard. Anyway. Okay. So I'm going to bring up here on the screen once again. I'm going to bring up my BAM. It is the options account. Okay. So today we're going to talk a little bit about the options stuff here. All right. So that way we can all get going here with this stuff. So Let's take a good look here. Did I get no, that's not what I wanted. Here we go. I'll take the zoom level to 120 so we can see exactly what that looks like. Okay, there we go. A little bit bigger. Okay, so this is my options account. This is a real life account with real life money. Okay, so it's got profits and losses and other things. Okay, so this is all in real time. Now, obviously, the market's closed for the day, but you can take positive and negative numbers here for sure on, say, a stock account that looks like this. Of course, as you know, you can take, for example, here, let's take a look at Amazon. So Amazon here is worth 32, was closed at 3207, all right, and was down, we say, of course, down $65.50. Okay, so again, a use of positive and negative numbers alike. Now, the real question is, though, it's like, okay, well, that's pretty easy. I know how to read stocks. That's not too hard. I'd be like, that's fair. All right, when you say it's down $65.50, honestly, for Amazon, that isn't too big of a deal because Amazon's worth $3,200. So you're thinking 60 bucks seems like a lot. In reality, it is not. Um, Actually, it's actually very small. Um, Same with Google. You go down $38, not too big of a deal. You know, um, that's kind of like a different thing. So again, it just depends on the context, how much something's worth and exactly what the context of that particular thing is will determine whether or not, is 50 cents relatively big? Well, how much is the stock worth? Well, if it's worth like $2, then 50 cents means a lot. If the stock is worth 10, 100 bucks, then 50 cents means very little. However, the way options trading works is that if you want to buy a regular options trade, essentially, you have to look for what's called the break-even point. Okay, so the break-even point, if you buy basic options, just a regular one-off option. Let's say you're trying to buy an option in Tesla. Okay, now Tesla is a very big company. I think everybody's heard of Tesla at this point. Okay, so you can buy contracts in Tesla all the way out to January of 2023. And that's fine. You can, again, the further out that you get a contract, then maybe the more likely you are to possibly make money, but again, at a very large premium. So let's imagine it this way. Let's say I bought a contract for next week, next, 11 days from now. That's when it expires. So here's the way it works. These prices here are reflective. You can see this price here of, so let's say, calls and puts. Now, calls mean that you think that the stock will go up. And then puts means that you think that the stock will go down, and then you'll make money. So you can make money either way here when it comes to options, okay? So it's not just like regular stocks where stocks just go up and down, and then you make money by it only going up. No, you can make money both ways. That's the nice part about options. But the important part here is what we call the break-even point. Sometimes it's important to understand what break-even means, and we can use positive and negative numbers in order to actually ascertain that. So if I were to buy a one call contract, this would cost me, in this case, one call contract would cost me $2,645. So notice it says 2645. Now the reason why it says 2645 is because options are worth 100 shares of that particular company. So you have to take each one of these values and multiply it by 100. All right, so it will cost me $2,645 to buy one contract of Tesla. Now, the way you start making money is this 2645 has also an alternating meaning. As the prices go up and down, of course, the prices of these contracts also go up and down. The closer you get to your expiration, the less that your contract is worth over time. That's what we call time decay. However, for you to start breaking even, for you to start seeing money, kind of from a contract like this, the thing that you have to do here is basically you take the price, You take the strike price that you see here in the middle, which is $430. So we take 430 and we add it to the price of the contract that we bought it at, which was $26.45. So we have 430 plus 26.45. And so the price that the stock has to pass up for us to start making money is $456.45. Okay, that is the price that once we get past that point, that means that we'll start making a whole lot more money past that. So that's essentially what that means, okay? So if it goes beyond that, then we're going to start making a lot of money very, very quickly. If we don't go past that point, well, then we're going to start losing a lot of money very, very quickly. So you can see how ups and downs kind of go. Okay, now on the other side of things, we can do the same thing can happen here. Only this time, we buy it for $22,625. Okay, oh, I don't want to sell that. Ooh, let's just say you want to buy. Okay, so we spend $2,625. But again, our break-even price to start making money is that I'm hoping that Tesla goes down, that Tesla's gonna do bad. So I think that it's gonna do bad. So I do 430 minus 26.25, right? And then I get $403.75. So if the stock goes below that price, then that means I'm gonna start making money after that. So for some stocks, you may need to wait a while. For some stocks, you can go ahead and see what happens. If it's volatile and all over the place, you can see where you can start making money, or you can start or not. Again, it just depends at the end of the day. I know a lot. I know this is like a lot of information thrown at once, but are there any questions, by the way? You guys can ask me kind of whatever. You guys still there, I hope? I didn't fry your brains, did I? Yes. Well, how long do you wait to cash in? Okay. Well, what I've showed you is a basic understanding. Okay, but obviously, think of it this way. Okay? Don't worry about the massive amount of numbers here. Let's talk about what options really are. Okay, so this is kind of like the basic idea about what break even means. But let me show you what I actually do. What I actually do is I trade using mitigated risk. So I use limited risk. Now I'm going to show you exactly what I look at, and then you can go ahead and see what you can do. Now there's a lot of different strategies to limit your risk because you only have so much money, and that's fair. So you can use different types of strategies. As you can see in this drop-down list, there are many different types of strategies that you can use. Whether you want to just buy stock outright, calendar options, jade lizards, butterflies, covered options, covered call options, iron condors, a straddle, a strangle, and a vertical option. The one I use the most is either the vertical or the iron condor. Now you're probably saying, well, what's the difference between both of those things? So I'll show you what the difference is. A lot of people use this as a pretty much a starting point for options. So if you notice this green bar right here, notice that also what it says down here. So it says, okay, let's say I speculate. So this is kind of like my guess. I think Tesla's going to be very strong for this quarter because Tesla is expected to put out very good numbers for the third quarter because their earnings come out on Thursday. So I think, this is what I think, okay? I think that with this trade, I think that it's going to stay above, and let's say $425. That's what I think it will do. It will stay above $425. That's what this trade is talking about here. So from 422 and a half to $425, this basically says if it's 425 or above, I'm going to make positive money. If it's below that, then I start losing money. So notice what I have to risk. I have to risk $120 for this trade to make $130. I also have a probability of profit at 54%. Essentially, at the end of the day with options trading, you can determine exactly what your odds of winning will be. So you can make a trade, you're like, you know what, that's too close. I want to play more conservative. Maybe $400 is the way to be. You'll make less money, yes, but your probability of profit now goes up by 15% to 69%. You risk 160 to make 90, and you have a higher chance of actually succeeding. A free $90 on the table, you wait like 11 days, and if it happens to work out, you got $90 in your pocket out of nowhere. Pretty great. So this also works in reverse. If you think that Tesla's going to go down, well, then you can also go in reverse. I think it'll be below, you can think that it'll be below $450. And here's your risk. It's 170 that you risk to make a profit of 80 with the 62% probability of profit. Again, each contract has its own set of rules. Each contract has its own set of things, but it's really not too hard when you think about it. And that's how most people trade, is with limited risk, so you're not putting a bunch of money down and losing a bunch of money at the end of the day. So now the question by Ivan was, how long do you wait to cash in? Well, that's what you monitor for, because again, the valuation of your contract is dependent on, of course, at what time, how close you are to the expiration date, and at what time and at what price it is, and how much time is left. So S1 and B1. S1 stands for selling one, and B1 stands for buying one. So I'll show you here once again. So this would be, I buy one contract, but at the same time I sell a contract that is a strike price higher. The reason why I do that is because this allows me to hedge my risk. So basically, essentially saying I limit my risk by selling a contract to somebody else, but I buy that contract so that way, again, that's where the limit risk comes in. So I'm not spending a gobload of money. I'm in fact just kind of doing it at the same time, so I can only need to put in this much. A lot of people do what they call hedging. So again, meaning to protect their assets. So I'm protecting my I'm protecting my funds necessarily by mitigating the amount that I'm putting in. Positive and negatives. Hey! Now I know this looks like it takes a lot of time to learn, and it did take me some time to learn. But once you get used to it, it's like, okay, this isn't as bad as it may seem. Obviously, a lot of information all at once is very, very overwhelming. But in all honesty, if you can make money going up or going down, that's not so bad either. You guys got any other questions? You guys can ask me whatever, so it's all good. We're all chill. Hmm, not bad. Have I blown your minds yet? Have I taught you things about how to possibly make some cash? Everyone seems to be lost. That's fair. That's very fair. What I wanted to basically share is how I how I made a little bit of my money over the summer, just getting to learn how this stuff works. Okay, so where do my earnings in these examples come from? Very good question. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of my positions here today. So my earnings come from the valuation of the contract themselves. I'll show you these four. This was what we call an iron condor. Iron condor is just super simple. Iron condor basically means you pick price of stock to be between two values. Okay, so for an iron condor, you just pick a price of a stock but between two values. So I picked it here for the S&P 500. I said I think it's going to be between 34.15 and 35.40. Now, here's how I managed to cash out. If I managed to cash out here, notice the valuations as contract. I rode this all the way to expiration. Now, if you take a look at the price here is 34.26. Perfect. It did finish between 34.15 and 35.40. Exactly what I wanted to have happen. So now my contracts are now expired worthless. Nobody's going to buy my contracts because if you buy my contracts, well, take a look, you're not going to get anything out of them, okay, because they're not worth anything. However, the way you do it is that you basically take your premium from that contract, take that money, and then you get to hold on to it until it's, until you get to keep the whole thing or keep part of the thing, trade it away, whatever you want. So the value of this contract here, I believe, was $210 if you add up these values here together. Um, yeah, so if you add up those values there that you see highlighted underneath PL open, so you have minus 310 plus 354 plus 922. I think it might be a little off, but minus 756. Oh, I think I hit minus there. Yeah, so that's $210 if you actually put that together. So I made $210 off of this trade just by keeping it and hoping that it would be between those two prices to make it as simple as possible. Does that make sense? I hope. So that's where I got my earnings from that contract from. These other contracts are still in play because the expiration date hasn't come around yet. So I don't know how much these will be worth. Once 2 days pass, then hopefully we'll see good returns. Same with this. I have a couple plays in Tesla. Hopefully their earnings will be good this week. So then I can make as you can see here, I'll probably make like $500 off of these trades or something. So that's what I'm hoping for anyway. So, not a whole ton of money is what we're asking for here, but, a healthy amount ain't too bad either. So, yeah. So the types of trades when you trade. Does the revenue here come from SPX? Yes. It basically comes from the contract there. Do you pay taxes after you cash out? Wonderful question. The answer is yes, but not directly, not right away. You actually pay taxes after the end of the year is up. So what you'll get is you'll get a special tax form. You get a special tax form here. You get two tax forms actually. One is you get a tax form for stock options, which are just regular stocks like Tesla. The SPX is very different though. The SPX represents the S&P 500. And because the S&P 500 is not a real stock, it's an index, it also gets taxed differently than that of regular stocks. With regular stocks, you get taxed at capital gains or whatever your tax bracket is, which could be like 28% or whatever. So whatever your tax bracket is, you'll get taxed at that. But for S&P, it's really weird. For index stocks, it's really weird because you get taxed at like a 60-40, which they have something called the 60-40 rule. And let me actually look that up so I can, what Google says is actually um, So I'm just going to post this here in the chat. So I'll show this off here. All right. So this is for the SPX as well, talking about futures as well. So so this is the 60-40 rule that we talk about taxes for the S&P. Does Tastyworks charge me an annual and monthly subscription? No. You just put money in. The only thing that they charge you for is the how much they charge you per contract. They charge you like $1 per contract, and then of course you have to pay the commission fee. Not the commission fee, the trading fee. Everybody has to pay a trading fee though. That's just natural. Everybody pays trading fees, no matter if it's stock or options. The trading house has to get like 70 cents per contract or whatever. So could you put the earnings in a 401k or retirement equivalent to avoid tax? The answer is, I mean, it has to be kind of designed for that. And I don't know if an individual could necessarily do that. A business probably could, but I don't think an individual can unless they set it up in such a way. But you can't avoid tax. The 60-40 rule is very good though, because if you hold on to a stock if you hold on to a stock for a long stretch of time, let's say over a year, then you get taxed significantly less than that if you just sold it off like next week. So, that's why the 60-40 rule, as you see there, long-term capital gains are taxed like at significantly less than that of short-term capital gains. So you actually save a lot of money in the long run. No. He paid taxes, all of $700, and you can claim like $400 million back. I mean, sure, that all works out just fine. There's only one man in this country you can't avoid, and that is the tax man. The tax man will come for you. I mean, Al Capone was arrested on tax. Al Capone was arrested on tax charges, and he was the most notorious gangster, you know, in Chicago. And I mean, heck, I remember watching an old episode of Batman, the animated series, and even the Joker was terrified of the IRS. And if the Joker's terrified of the IRS, you know you are a scary MFer. Yes, of course. You can easily start options trading with just $100. And you could go at your own pace. You don't have to do what I do. You can options trade with $100 and make like, make a few dollars here, a few dollars there. It doesn't have to be like a whole grandiose thing. I needed the extra money at that time back in the day, back in April really, was because I knew I was going to lose my job the following month. So I was like, I got to figure out a way to kind of generate a little bit of extra cash for the summer since I wasn't going to being, I was going to be paid. So I was like, well, that kind of sucks. So, I hadn't been unemployed for, such a long stretch of time, to be perfectly honest, and, eons. So I was like, oh, well, I got to find something. So I decided to use my skills and learn this stuff over the next month just to see how I can go. But yeah, start with $100. You don't have to like put a ton down, not at all. Most people start off at $100. They trade $100. They don't trade SPX, but they trade its small equivalent, which is SPY. So SPY is basically based off the S&P 500. Only it has it has smaller increments of $1, so you can actually trade with $100 with the SPY. It's the most heavily traded electronic trading fund in the world, so billions go into this thing every day. So SPX is if you have like $500. SPY is if you have like $100, and you're not getting a lot, but at the same time you can practice around a bit, or you can always open up a practice account. You can always do that too with fake money and just get used to it. I always tell people find more information and then determine whether or not you want to do that. So, I never force the issue. I'm just saying, hey, this is what I did, and this is how I use math to my advantage. Yeah, I'll close this up. Actually, I'm gonna check that real fast. Oh, okay. How can you open up a practice account? Oh, that's a good question. So the way I did it is I used Thinkorswim. I used a program called Thinkorswim from TD Ameritrade. So you sign up with an account with TD Ameritrade. It's free, and you go to a paper account. So basically, you just go to a paper account. You can add funds. You can subtract funds. You can try stuff out. You don't have to actually put in any money in there. You could just be like, hey, I want to try it out with some fake $100,000 and see how it goes. If that didn't work out, then you can try, just try any strategies that you want. And then when you feel comfortable, you can actually use real money. So it's not like something that you have to like jump in head first and riding out of the frying pan and into the fire. No, you can definitely practice. And I recommend practicing, practicing because you're not totally aware about what something is. Practicing is important. So, yeah, no question about that. Cool. Yeah, pretty easy, right? Nice. Any other questions you guys like to ask me? This is just a nice little fun aside about where we can see applications of, say, positive and negative numbers and the like. So I wanted to show you something special. Be like, hey, look, there's something that definitely uses this, on an everyday basis, to some people, and certainly can be helpful for you if you decide to go down that path. Again, this is not a thing for me to endorse. Okay, again, the choice is always yours about what you want to do with your money and your time. Okay, so for me to tell you this is the right way to go, I'm not going to tell you that. What I am going to tell you is you do your own research, you do some practice if you want to go down that path, and then when you feel comfortable, you do it. And it's not as hard as it looks uh, once you get used to it. So just like anything new, it takes a little time to ease into it, but once you do, okay, great. Just don't go all bat crazy, but everybody's got a thing. So, any other questions? Okay. Well, I guess we'll leave it off here for today. Hopefully, you learned a little bit of something from my personal end. And, if you have other questions here, I think looking into some videos talking about, you can look up some YouTube videos talking about options to give you a better idea about what that's talking about, if that's something you want to go down. Um, if that's a route that you want to go down, or again, if I could provide you any tips after you kind of understood the concept yourself, I'll be happy to provide some tips to you, that hopefully will be helpful for you. Everybody's got their own strategy and style. So for me to say that my way is the best way, or for anybody to tell you that their way is the best way, is not necessarily true. Okay. Of course, experience and time always gives you more, a better feeling. So, all right, everybody. So that I'm going to end off there for today. We're going to finish up chapter 6 for next time. So my goal is we'll finish up chapter 6. That shouldn't take us too long to do. It'll be multiplication, division, and exponents and square roots. We did talk about those previously. So we'll be going over additional questions over those two sections. All right, so see how fast we go. We don't really go super fast. You see now it's kind of more slow down now that we're not cramming a bunch of material for the 8-week class necessarily. So that's that you can see, like, that's pretty much how it'll be for the next 8 weeks. So we could take our time and relax and float with the waves essentially. Go get a beer. Mmm. That doesn't sound so bad right now, to be honest. uh, Monday Night Football, that's true. Who won, KC or Buffalo? Because they played the early game today. Do we have homework? So Victor, the homework there, you're in the 16-week class, right, Victor? Okay, perfect. So the homework, if you want to kind of keep up, would be chapter 6. So chapter 6 would be homework to keep up. So don't forget to finish. Don't forget, everybody, remember to please, 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 if you have not done so already, please finish up the test by tonight for chapters 1 to 5. Okay, if you have not done that yet. Okay, so you have until midnight of which to finish, and then you can go have your beer. Okay, but make sure you finish that first if you have not done so already. Homework is to drink a beer. All right, very good. Any more questions before we head on out for today? No? Okay. Okay, very good, everybody. I want to thank you all again. For all of you in the 16-week class, you guys are awesome. Thanks for sticking around with me for the next 8 weeks. I'm pretty sure we're going to have a lot more fun. I'm sure we're going to be going off topic just a little bit. Um, so, I mean, that's just how it is going to be. You're in the 8-week course, you think. Let me ask you, let's see, Victor. Victor, okay, let me ask you really quick, Victor. Um, uh, Let me ask you really quick, Victor. I just want to make sure, Victor. Does the class start today for you? Like, does it say October 19th to like December 13th or December 18th or something like that? Okay. So you are in my second 8-week class, okay? Okay. So let me give you a rundown here, Victor. So that way. Excuse me. Excuse me. Apologies. Oh goodness, that came from nowhere. All right. So you're in the second 8-week class, Victor. All right. So what does that mean? All right. So that means that you, Victor, have your lectures at 10 a.m. 12. So your lectures there, because you're in the second 8-week class there, Victor, you have your lectures from 10 a.m. to 12:45 p.m. So we went over the syllabus today and chapter 1 here today. Um, that you can find a replay of on right here on Twitch. So if you need to see the replay there on Twitch, you can, about what I talked about for the first day of class anyway. Um, so that shouldn't be too much of a problem, to be perfectly honest. But you're always more than welcome to come to these lectures as well if you want to say work a little bit ahead. We're basically in the second half of class here, um, for the 16-week course. So that's why we start at chapter 6. But for the 8-week class, we would start at chapter 1. We'll eventually catch up to the 16-week class, closer to the end. But yeah, if this is like, first day class for you, Victor, then that's where you're going to need to be here. Same channel, but again at 10 o'clock to 12:45. We probably won't go the full time, but again, I just leave enough wiggle room. So, is that okay? We're the fun. Yeah, you guys are the fun class. So I guess I'll have to ask that too. I'll ask this. Yeah. So I updated the syllabus. So yeah, perfect. I updated the syllabus because I wasn't sure what time I was gonna kind of modify it. So I updated the syllabus with the new time on it, and then I updated the announcement to also kind of reflect that too. And I sent out an email to everybody to hopefully say, hey, if you're in the second 8-week course, hey, this is the change that we got to make there. You guys are definitely my favorite class. Absolutely. Yeah, we are. Of course we are. I just got to pick a day. We're still doing steaks, yo. That's just natural, man. Yeah, Victor. If like I said, uh, you know, I want to give you. You don't have to choose one or the other. So, Victor, if you want to, if you're able to come to the 10 o'clock class, then great. If you're not, I totally understand that. I know that's 10 in the morning, but it would have been messy if I did it, at the same time I did this one because then it wouldn't make sense to start halfway through. So for you, Victor, in particular, again, you can watch the replays of your normal class um, after you come to ours. So you could do that if you want. So you could come to the 10 o'clock class if you'd like, or again, you could come to this 5 o'clock class, learn a little bit ahead of the material that you would normally learn, and then you could watch the replay from the 10 o'clock class in the morning because maybe you're working, until that time. Everybody's got a different work schedule and stuff, which I totally understand because most people who take this class are hard working people. Okay, they typically do school and work. So, um, I totally understand if you're not, completely able to make it. I just unfortunately I couldn't fit any time because the time I would probably choose would be way too late at night. So, um, yeah, this is kind of like what I had to compromise with, unfortunately, for the second 8-week class. But I just wanted to be able to get like at least a second 8-week class, so that way you guys were not stuck out in the cold or something. So I'll leave it up to you, Victor, about what you would like to do with what works for your schedule. Okay. Yeah, I thought Sona was in the 8-week. Right? I hope Sono's doing the test, or has done the final and the second exam. I think so. Yes. Just let me know what you'd like to do, Victor, and I'll be more than happy to help you out if you need any. Okay. Night class sounds better. Are you willing to watch the replays? So are you willing to watch the replays for the first 5 chapters then? Because I won't be going over the first 5 chapters, Victor. It'll just be chapters 6 to 10. You'll still have to take a test over chapters 1 to 5. So I'm just want to let you know that if that's something that you want to do, hey, I'm cool with that. I got no problem with that at all. I'd be more than happy. Okay, okay. I just want to look. I want to be as transparent as possible with you, Victor. Okay, I want to be as transparent as possible with you, Victor. All right. So, because I don't want to disenfranchise you, and I just want to give you as many options as possible, so you don't feel like you're left out in the cold. So, if you're willing to make up the chapters 1 to 5 work just by kind of watching the replays, then that's cool. I'll fully support that decision if that's what you're comfortable with. If not, then if not, then I can understand that too. So, okay. Yeah, you can keep taking the practice test as many times as you want. So you can take it as many times as you want. And you get 2 attempts on the test, on that first test there, chapters 1 to 5. So you can take that. You get 2 attempts, and the best score is the one that's recorded there. And of course, the homework for chapters 1 to 5 have to be done. But for you, that doesn't have to be done until the end of the semester anyway. So there you go. Yeah, if you want to watch the replays, I highly suggest that for you, Victor, so that way you're caught up with material from that back end and caught up with the material that we're teaching here on this end. You know, so everybody's a winner at the end of the day. I'd rather find as many ways to go, to get around so that way you're taken care of as much as everyone else. That's the way I do things. Well, I think going slower 6 to 10 should be better then, because there were times that I did have to go rather fast. I don't disagree with that, Ivan. But I think with the more time that we have now, I think we'll be able to manage without too much trouble. Thank you for bringing that to my attention, Victor. I'm glad we were able to work something out. Oh, great. You guys double learned because of yeah, you guys double learned the material, so that's actually not a bad thing for chapter 6 to 10. So then we get to sit and chill and be like, yeah, awesome, awesome sauce. Okay, good. Oh, all right. That got taken care of. All right, very good. Okay. All right, guys. Well, I guess we're going to end off here for today. Um, you're about to be double confused? Well, don't worry. We're going to be slowing down and taking more time through chapter 6 to 10, Diego, okay? So, don't have to feel like your ears got, your ears got double fisted or something like that, you know. You feel a little bit better, okay? All right. All right, guys. You have a great one, all right? And I will see you all on Wednesday, okay? On Wednesday. We'll see each other again, all right? Have a great one, everybody. Take care of yourselves. Have a wonderful night. All right? Sit back, relax, and enjoy a beer. Enjoy a beer. Yes. Take care, everybody. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you later, all right, everybody? All right. Bye.